Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Uh, let me get my slides up and let's see here. Okay. All right. Excellent. All right. So I got that. And slides are coming. Not going to be on a long, maybe 30 minutes. So, okay, that works. All right. Cassandra Kinchin, thank you so much for being here first. Greatly appreciate it. All right. Pamela, Connie Balmer. Hey, Connie Balmer. And Marshar is here. Marshar, you weren't here earlier, were you? Ozell Dunlap is here. Okay, I see it's kind of like the evening crew. Myra V, or should I say the late night crew? Okay, no worries. Hmm. And not one. Okay. Hmm. All right. Oh well, that shouldn't be a problem. Oh no, I was asleep earlier. Oh, okay. Thank you. So let's get on with it. Here we are. So royal shock revealed. Yes, it is a shock, and I suppose what shocks me is that there's the two things in one day. Even yes, Jessica Foreman, this is live. Even if you consider that Charles is having a scheduled surgery, it just it seems like, well, I mean, no need to keep it secret, of course, but did the two palaces know what was happening today? Did the two palaces know that this was going to happen? That both houses, the Clarence House and of course Kensington Palace, did they realize that they were going to have this overlap in medical news today? I wonder, were they planning to tell us about Charles and then later on, you know, well, okay, no, I'm sorry. I think Charles came first. Actually, you know what? I don't know which one came first. Did they mention, does anybody know? Did they mention Charles first? Or I'm going to just say Kate was first. Kate was first, possibly unplanned. Um, but okay, I'm going to tell you. Let me just go with what I have here. So this is how we started the week. I don't own the palaces or the paintings, only my name, and now they have taken that. So they started off the week, as I mentioned before, making the queen look terrible. I mean, this was just terrible for the queen's brand. And the queen's not even alive anymore. And that's amazing that you can damage a person's brand and they're dead. The queen is dead and they have managed to make a mockery of the queen's life by making the queen appear to be the most petty person who's ever drawn a breath. That is petty. For someone who has had such a privileged life through no fault of her own, they have managed to make the queen's life seem reduced to having sole possession of her name, even if it's only for the family, even if it's only within that family. And yet, just a reminder, every girl that has been born in that family, Charlotte, the York sisters, the Tyndall girls, all of them have Elizabeth in their name. They all have Elizabeth in their name. Somewhere in there, there's an Elizabeth. Lily Diana is the only one that doesn't have an Elizabeth. She has Lilibet, and they're having a fit about it. It went away, and now it's back again. That's how we started our week on the Petty Express. We started our week on the Petty Express. Queen's furor over naming of baby. And then what happens? Take a look on the right side there. But you know what? Let's go back over here. King Charles will be hospitalized for treatment of an enlarged prostate. And that was reported by Kaiser of Celibici. And here on the right side, Kate Middleton hospitalized after abdominal surgery, cancels all engagements until Easter. The Princess of Wales is not expected to return to royal duties until after Easter, Kensington Palace said in a statement. Okay, that was at 11 a.m. Eastern time. I have no idea when this Charles thing came out. I was awake and pretty much just laying in bed looking at old television sitcoms. And then when I went on the interweb, that's when I saw this stuff. So I don't know which came first. Yeah, same day announcement. Same day announcement. Very interesting. Hi, Antoinette Kennedy. Okay. Just a reminder, you guys, please be responsible with your comments. Please be responsible with your comments. Sadly, some of the things that we say here may possibly be a reflection on the Sussexes, and we don't want that. So, I mean, I'm messy enough by myself. A shiver down our spines. So this was Richard Kay. Richard Kay says, a shiver down our spines. Richard Kay, the double blow of King Charles and our future Queen Kate medical treatments leave the nation reeling. It sends a shiver down our spines and shows how threadbare royal resources are. King Charles will be treated for an enlarged prostate next week. Princess of Wales will spend 2 weeks at a London clinic. A staff of 60, Yalibi. A staff of 60. They have a staff of 60 at that house. Oh, really? What did I get right? Okay, I think I know what you mean. But all right, so let's continue. So right here, this is the hospital. They say that there are armed police officers at the entrance of the hospital. Now, one of the articles that they ran in the Daily Mail says that this hospital stay for someone who stayed there was like staying at a 4-star hotel. So it's very posh accommodations, which of course you would expect that if a member of the royal family is staying there. Of course, the accommodations are very, very posh. You're going to be treated extremely well. Plus, let's face it, there's rich, privileged people that are in that hospital. That includes the Princess of Wales. So, of course, you're going to be treated very well there. That's not a shock. But if I can go here, Prince William and Princess Kate reveals plan to tour Rome in 2024. Notice the date there, December the 22nd, 2023. December the 22nd, 2023, they made this announcement. Prince William and Kate are set to jet off to Rome in Italy in the spring as part of their royal tour, an expert has announced. And let me see. Yeah, none of those names I recognize. Victoria Chesham and Lauren Welch. Well, that Lauren Welch, I think I've seen that name before. But anyway, she's writing for the Express, so I could just imagine how she writes. Mm, well, like I said, Shirley, I see your comment there. And it wouldn't do any good to speculate about something like that because they're never going to tell us. And, you know, it's okay to think out loud, but they're never going to tell us. So how would we ever know? How would we ever know? They're not going to tell us. They don't even want to tell us what kind of surgery she's having. But take a look here. Kate Middleton is very evil, says this person on this tweet. Gets moody around any woman who is better than her. Well, what seems like a photo of someone who is not happy about the other person in the photo, now I'm thinking otherwise. I mean, because let's face it, um, she wasn't herself that night. If you recall, there was a big fuss in the Swedish press because they said she ignored um, the crown princess of Sweden, right? But Kate just looks unwell. She looks unwell. And there on the right side, and mind you, this was before Christmas, I believe. On the right side, William and Kate, you can see William extends his hand to help her up. He's being a gentleman, of course. But um, when I first used this slide here, that was after Omid Scobie's book came out. So I said, well, maybe she's upset about the book. It's not to say what was right or wrong in the book, but maybe she's just upset. But now I'm starting to think otherwise. I mean, after all, this was what? When was this visit? Let me see. William and Kate and Crown Prince Victoria. Let me see when that visit was. Okay, it was November 30th. All right, not so close to Christmas. It wasn't after Christmas. Gosh, that was a while ago already. It was November 30th. But if you recall, Kate, people were concerned about the dress that she's wearing because it's very loose. It's very, very loose. And people, were dismissive, but now it just makes you take another look at it. It really makes you take another look at it. So, okay, let's continue. And then, of course, this is what I got wrong earlier. I was looking at the date at the bottom of the one on the left side, but if you look up there, 12/28/23, and they kind of talk about this a little bit, and I'll tell you how in just a minute. I hope all is well at Sandringham. My spy in Marybone or whatever, just saw this convoy heading in the general direction of the King Edward VII Hospital at 8:30 this evening. I took that to mean today or yesterday, but it wasn't yesterday. It was actually the 28th. You see right there, the 28th. And I don't know how I missed that, except I was looking at the date at the bottom. Or maybe I cropped it. I don't know which one I did. And same over here. I hope all is well at Sandringham. How in the world did I miss that? Like I said, I was looking at the wrong date. So this was the 28th of December. Kate has not been seen in the public since she attended the royal family Christmas Day church service in Sandringham 23 days ago with William, Louis, Charlotte, and George. That was the last time anybody seen her publicly. That was the last time that Kate has been seen publicly, was 23 days ago. So if she hasn't been seen for 23 days, it really begs the question, who was in the convoy? Yeah, thank you, Connie Balmer. Exactly. And this is why the press release, they asked that no one speculate. They want their privacy for Kate. While we know people are going to be curious, for the sake of our children, such and such, such and such, we want our privacy. And I agree with that. I mean, I doubt if their children are watching Royal Sussex, but Kate hasn't been seen publicly in 23 days. I didn't even realize it had been that long. 23 days she hasn't been seen publicly. Wow. That's alarming. That is alarming. You know, earlier I didn't think as much of it, but now I have to say I am a bit concerned. I am a bit concerned because this seems rather odd. And that they want to exercise so much privacy about it, that's concerning. Is it possible? No, it can't be possible. But it almost makes me ask, has she been in the hospital and out of the hospital and gone back to the hospital? That's what I'm wondering. Also, has anyone told, just like with the defense secretary here in the United States, he had surgery and didn't tell the White House. And you would think it must be impossible for the highest ranking civilian in the president's cabinet, with control of the military, the highest ranking civilian in the White House, that is the secretary, I guess only above the secretary. There's nobody above the secretary of defense but the president. He doesn't answer to anybody else. And yet he went for surgery and didn't tell anybody. And here you have the next queen having surgery, and you have to ask, did Clarence House know this? Was Clarence House aware of this? Hmm. So let me see. This is around the corner. Less than 3 weeks ago. This is just around the corner from Harley Street. Less than 3 weeks ago. I'm sorry, I was just looking at that. Less than 3 weeks ago. Have not been seen publicly for 23 days. Well, hey, Black Queen. That is interesting. No, that is very interesting. Yes, Marcy Foreman. They say the Duke of Kent. I saw that. Someone tweeted a picture of the Duke of Kent. That's that very senior royal that seems to shuffle his feet. If you're not familiar with him, they say that the Duke of Kent may be in charge now. Yes, there's a tweet that says, "Am I in charge now?" Oh, what a twisted web we weave. And this is from the Daily Mail, by the way. Kate has not been seen in public since she attended the royal family Christmas 23 days ago. 23 days. And it's not unusual for Will and Kate to disappear for a while. And so it did not alarm anyone that they were not seen because, to be honest with you, before the Queen died, they would disappear around Christmas time and you wouldn't see them. I think they get busy like a week before the the um the Commonwealth Day. They get busy before Commonwealth Day. They start getting busy, and then they stay busy um, until they take their summer break and go to Balmoral, to the likes of which they disappear for a couple months in the summer. And I don't just mean them. I think most of the royals are pretty much invisible at that time. You don't see them. So it's not unusual for the royals to, well, for Will and Kate to not be seen for so long. That's why it did not send any alarm bells to the media, because nobody expected to see them. Queen Camilla, Princess Royale, and the Duchess of Edinburgh, who will take duties in the light of King Charles and Princess of Wales' health issues. It's thought the royal family will look to senior members to cover for King Charles and Princess of Wales in coming weeks as both recover from surgery. Princess of Wales undergoes successful operation at the London clinic, where she will remain for 10 to 14 days and won't return to public duties until after Easter. Daily Mail, and I'm pretty sure all of the tabloids, they really want to talk about this. They really want to talk about this. I was actually surprised when I saw this. This surprised me. They really want to talk about it, and they're waiting to see who's going to blink first. Um, Let me continue. All right, I'm going to take a look at some of your comments. You guys, please remember to keep it cute. We are at a very sensitive moment right now, and we want to make sure that, for the sake of our faves, that we give it the proper respect that it deserves. Let me see here. Okay. Yeah, there are a lot of people in the social media that's mentioning the law, and that is something that a lot of people are going to probably talk about. I mean, people who may even be royalists themselves. I've been waiting all this time, and there's no four-star luxury hospital for me, and I think it's a fair conversation. I really do. When they were pushing for universal health care here in the United States, one of the things that they mentioned was the fact that the Congress that we pay for, they have all of their medical needs covered, and some of the Congress people that were pushing for universal health care, one of the things they said is, "I just want the American people to have the same health care that I have, the same quality of health care that any member of Congress receives." Well, I mean, who's to say that she doesn't leverage power right now? Who's to say she's not leveraging power right now? But it William William is going to have to step up. The logical thing is whether William will be caring for the kids and caring for Kate. he's still going to have to step up where the really important things are concerned. Plus, Charles will um, recover. He will go back to his red box, and it won't be a prolonged thing. At least it doesn't look like it. Okay. Okay, I went back kind of far, didn't I? Yeah, definitely. I mean, whether or not anyone has a beef with members of the family, the thing is, those are people. They're humans like the rest of us, and especially where the children are concerned, those children need their mom safe and back at home. That is very important, and I agree that and it's going to happen anyway. There's going to be speculation, and I think it should be because they're public people, and I don't think it's fair to make Charles' health thing a matter of public record. And the future queen consort is living from taxpayer-funded privilege, and that information should be made public. I'm not even going to dance around that. That information should be made public. If the public is paying for it, the public has a right to know. And of course, as we know, Meghan didn't have any right to her privacy. And, you know, as I said earlier, this may be a teachable moment. Let's hope that whatever is happening, that wounds may be healed and that the family could, at the very least, um, make peace with the Sussexes. I'm not going to say the Sussexes need to make peace with them. They need to make peace with the Sussexes. And seeing that they're going to be down two working royals, the sooner the better. They need to make peace with the Sussexes. Thank you, Marina. That is very fair. Marina says, I'm not a Cape fan, but I do wish her well. This is worrisome. Yeah, it is. It is worrisome. Realizing that she hadn't been seen publicly for 23 days, according to the Daily Mail, for 23 days, she has not been seen. Where is that at? She has not been seen publicly for 20, and this was November the 30th. Very, I mean, even for Kate, she 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 has not looked well toward the end of the year. I'm just going to say that toward the end of the year, it seems like whatever was going on, and I'm not even saying for sure that one has anything to do with the other, but she has not looked well. She has not looked well. And so this is the last public sighting. Not a lot to read into it, except, I mean, it's wintertime, they're wearing overcoats, but those kids want their mommy back. Those kids want their mommy back home. Uh, let's see. She was on the street on her birthday. You know that I'm stuck on this 23 days because it seemed like a long time. And so Ozell says she was on the street on her birthday shaking hands. Was it was well, let me see here. Let me see. Kate Middleton's birthday. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking to see if it was possibly an old video. Because like right now, I'm looking and I don't see any her birthday January 9th, which was 9 days ago. That you sure it wasn't like a video recording? Is that possible? That they could have showed like an old video? Because if the Daily Mail says, like right here, it says Kate Middleton's 42nd birthday, very low key. And the photo that they have is the photo from Christmas. That's the photo they're using. Kate will celebrate her 42nd birthday on Tuesday with a low key family gathering that will include a special birthday tea and homemade cake. Source close to the future queen said there will be no major celebration, but instead a relaxed and informal tea party. I don't think she went out that day. I don't think she went out that day. So they may have very well showed her shaking hands, but I don't think that she went anywhere for her birthday. Patricia Starkey says, as much as I don't like Kate, I would never wish that is, children to lose their mother. So I wish her a speedy recovery. Hear, hear. Oh, that tweet was 21 days. Okay, she hasn't been seen for 23 days. From that date to tweet 12, 28, 23. The difference is 21 days. Okay. Yeah, they said that what's her name? The mama. What's the mama's name? Carol. They said Carol is not too far away. They said that Carol's a lot closer, and that she's a very hands-on grandma, so she's very likely to help out with the kids. I'm telling you, all this hospital and surgery is a smokescreen for Charles and Kate. Tour with William and Charles to get out of going on tour with William and Charles. We'll cover. Did you all hear Lady C saying that something really bad was going to happen in the spring? And of course, really bad something was supposed to happen. She was speaking, of course, of the Sussexes. And sometimes when people say something like that, it ends up happening to someone else. Well, we are still steeply in the winter months, but Kate's not supposed to come back until spring. And Charles, well, I don't imagine there would be any complications for Charles. I don't know that he's ever had surgery, but if he wasn't a good candidate for surgery, I doubt if they would. But yeah, I mean, he's got to get it done anyway. So, but he seems like he's in good health in spite of his hands and childbearing hips. He seems like he's in good health, so I'm sure he'll be okay. I mean, they're going to have the best and the brightest doing surgery on him, so he'll be fine. If he's singing soprano, then we'll know things didn't go well, but he'll be fine. This family and their press are trying to manipulate us. There's more to this story. Don't trust them. Oh, Pamela. Okay. Okay. Ooh, that is something to think about. That is something to think about. That notice doesn't say she just went into the hospital. It just says 10 more days. That notice doesn't say that she just went into the hospital. Oh, Cassandra. Cassandra. Wow. See, that's why I wanted to come back on because I have more questions than I have any answers. That notice doesn't say that she just went into the hospital. It says 10 more days. You know what? You get a bell. You get a bell for that. That is brilliant. Wow. Yeah, you got to read between the lines. You've got to read between the lines with this lot. Well, this is a smokescreen to put a damper on Harry's upcoming award. It seems like that, but this is very serious. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying that I 100% disagree, but something is serious. As I was saying earlier, hospitals, I don't care what hospital it is, medical professionals do not like to lie for their patients. Now, they can write up a medical report, they can even do a press conference and dance around what's really happening, but they're not going to lie. They're not going to lie for people. So, if they aren't going to say anything, they aren't going to say anything. But I don't even think they'll lie for the royal family. I just don't. Those medical people would lose all of their credibility, and that is something that I just don't think they would do. So it is something serious. It is something that may have happened days ago, and they only just telling us about the surgery today. It's not like they're lying if they. Let me go look at that press release again. Let me look at that press release again. Her Royal Highness the Princess of Wales was admitted to hospital. Yeah, okay. Well, it just says they're admitted to hospital yesterday for planned abdominal surgery. Okay, so it does say yesterday the surgery was successful, and it is expected that she will remain in hospital for 10 to 14 days before returning home to continue her recovery. Based on the current medical advice, she is unlikely to return to public duty until after Easter. The Princess of Wales appreciates the interest in this statement will generate. She hopes that the public will understand her desire to maintain as much normality for her children as possible and her wish that her personal medical information remain private. And they will provide updates on Her Royal Highness progress when there is significant new information to share. Okay, so it says she was admitted yesterday. Still not, okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Marshall, the best possible health care available, which puts her way ahead of the general public. Let me see. But it may not actually be a hospital. It could, well, they did say clinic or something, clients. Yeah, they did say it was a clinic. I read somewhere clinic. I don't know where I read that, but they did say clinic, which I thought was weird that they said clinic and not hospital. Where did I see that? Where did I see that? I saw clinic somewhere. Okay, I don't know where I saw it. I saw clinic somewhere. Was it here? No. That says hospital. I did see clinic somewhere. I guess it doesn't matter, but I did see clinic somewhere. Oh, right here. The Princess of Wales undergoes successful operation at the London Clinic. I don't know if that makes a difference, but at the London Clinic, where she will remain for 10 to 14 days. Yeah, see there? I knew I saw a clinic somewhere. Yeah, and we talked about that earlier. If you knew you were having surgery, why were they still leaving engagements on the book? So, will Anne step up? Will Ford Fiesta step up? Or will that woman that eats like a savage, Camilla, step up? That is the big question, is who's going to step up? William is going to be down, but trust me, William is going to seize control of everything that he is entitled to. They're not going to leave it to the rest of the family. Um, William can stay in touch as much as necessary to make sure. I mean, because he's the next in line. So it only makes sense that William will be in touch with all of the affairs having to do with his father. Now, if he chooses not to get involved, that's on him. But I couldn't imagine a world where he wouldn't want to step up. So they're not going to leave it to those others. But that was just some clickbait from the Daily Mail. Who's going to step up? That's just clickbait. William's going to step up. So, right there, that's the amount of engagements that they had last year. So last year, Kate just had 90 engagements. For this year, you can cut that number in half. Uh, William had 126. For this year, you can just cut that number in half. You can just cut those numbers in half. They're not going to do much until probably, I think Kate will probably return for Trooping the Colors. She'll probably make a big return for Trooping the Colors. That's in June, so that gives her plenty time. Oh, in other words, they'll be doing what they've always done. Let me see, Baron. They have too many people that is willing to lie for them. Look at the Roto Rats, British media, all of the people who will lie on Harry and Meghan. These has done so much in the dark. I trust them, karma. Okay. I mean, I would hate to think that a medical professional would stoop so low, but I can't say it's impossible. Remember, the Queen stayed that night in the hospital and nobody said anything? You remember that? People were angry because the Queen spent the night in the hospital and they didn't find out about it for like, what, 2 days? So it's not impossible that they could. I'm surprised that they even mentioned this, to be honest with you. It would seem as though they would wait until days, if not a week, after surgery to mention this. But instead, they said she went into the hospital yesterday, had surgery today, which I don't care what anybody say. That sounds like an emergency to me. That sounds like an emergency. Okay, don't eat anything after midnight. We'll operate tomorrow. That sounds like an emergency visit. That screams urgent. Uh, okay. Thank you, Cassandra. That's a good point. Doctors can't disclose info. Yeah, and I wouldn't expect the doctors to disclose anything without permission. I'm just saying that if if it comes to that, I don't think the doctors would be willing to lie for them either. But again, this is not like a typical situation. If it was a president, there would be a press conference with the doctors, right? But the royal family, they can keep a will secret for 90 years. They can definitely keep a hospital visit secret, which again is fascinating why they decided to talk about it the day of the surgery. They could have just as easily have waited a while. Even when the son, remember when Lily was born, we didn't find out for 4 days. We didn't find out for 4 days. Now, for security reasons, the Sussexes, of course, needed to be back home and safely sheltering in their mansion before it made the news. We found out on what, the 8th, and she was born on the 4th. Is that right? But anyway, I know there was a gap of 4 days before we found out. Um, so there was no reason why they had to mention this surgery today. Nobody knew she was in the hospital. But maybe someone was talking about it and they wanted to get ahead of it. Maybe that's what it was. Or maybe someone at the tabloids told them, we're going to run the story, so you better tell it before we do. You know how they do that, right? Sometimes they will do that. Like Dan Wooten, you better tell them, otherwise I'll do it. You have 10 days. You have 10 days. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle silent after Princess Kate and King Charles health updates. Celebrities were quick to wish King Charles and Princess Kate a speedy recovery, but Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's silence is deafening. Well, um, I'm trying to think. Did they say anything about Meghan's miscarriage? I don't recall them saying anything about that. I don't think they said anything about Meghan's miscarriage. They didn't say a lot about anything to do with Meghan. Hmm. Well, yeah, I don't remember them saying anything. They didn't say anything when Archie was compared to a chimpanzee. That I remember. They didn't say anything about Jeremy Clarkson's column. That I remember. So chances, yeah, they didn't say nothing. Yeah, they didn't say nothing. So right here, however, award insider insists the negativity will not get our attention. The organization states inductees are nominated and selected by current living legends who then are part of future selection process. A source connected to the event told the Mirror Prince Harry's honor recognizes so much of his entire life, not just the time flying helicopters and serving in the Army. Our award is a celebration of aviators, but also life changing human beings connected to our world. Harry's name was put forward because of his astonishing commitment to helping those in and out of the military, promoting awareness of the triumphs and travails of that life. But he stands tall as a philanthropist. Any suggestion of this as a publicity stunt is disgraceful and offensive suggestion. So that was a little clap back at some of these critics. Of course, John was an advocate for Harry and supported his nomination. Speaking of John Travolta, of course, he has always felt a connection to him, especially because he and Diana enjoyed that moment of pop culture history by dancing at the White House. It was the highlight of his. It was a highlight of his amazing life, and the pair had a bond. It was just a year after Harry was born, and the pair both felt the moment was a fairy tale. So, okay. That is what they said, right? They said what they said. But, oh my goodness, we're drifting into like an hour, aren't we? Well, I said what I said. That was about the end of it. Robert Collins, as I live and breathe. Did I just see Robert Collins? Where does that go? Uh, anyway, hey, Robert Collins, it's been a while. There you go. Hi, Baron and fellow squaddies, jumping in from Rome at 7:30 with morning coffee. Grazie, grazie, grazie. I'm going to come and live in Rome one of these days. Uh, hmm. Thank you, Fatima. Let me see. What's that? I love the part where Harry did not want a separate solo event. Okay. Okay, you guys. I think we're good. Let's review a little bit from earlier today. I'll just go through these really fast. So earlier today, I spoke about this. Um, that's how the week started. Princess Kate hospitalized after planned abdominal surgery, Palace says. And then, oh, see, that's why I had the timeline wrong. See, I cropped that one. I cropped that one and it didn't have the time on it. But still, the other one should have been good. Okay. And right here, I cropped that one too. So I cropped the time out of it. Kate will stay in the hospital 14 days after surgery. Meanwhile, yeah. Okay, we looked at that earlier. The Daily Mail, for some reason, spoke about the scar on Kate's head. This is why I say Daily Mail wants to talk about this desperately. And they will at some point. And as Connie Balmer said, give them enough time, somebody's going to talk. I do want to know. I do want to know. And I think it's only fair. I think it's only fair. She's a public person. You can ask for privacy, but she's a public person. Uh-huh. Same thing. It says she was admitted yesterday. But Baroness Brooks said, and just like that, Kensington Palace has canceled their mystery military tour later this month. It is curious how they leaked the myth trip to, what's his name, Russell Myers, only 6 days ago, while today's medical procedure was a planned surgery. Something's not jiving. But you know what? The tabloid media, they're all going to be on message. So whatever it is they want us to know, that is going to be the message. It's not going to be anything more than they're willing to share. That's for sure. If it's anything they do well, the tabloid media knows how to stay on message. They circled the wagons to protect Schofield. They circled the wagons to protect Dan Wooten, and they don't even like him. And they're definitely going to circle the wagons to protect Kate's privacy. They will do that. But somebody's going to talk. And of course, Dr. Scholler said, should we clap for William? William set to juggle childcare and caring. Even though this is a very sensitive situation, Kensington Palace is using it to get brownie points for William, even though William will be doing what millions of people do every day and without a staff of 60. That's important to remember. Most people do this without a staff of 60. How long before they start saying Harry needs to come back? That's what happened when Charles and William had the pandemic. Okay. And then, of course, there were these magazines. In case you didn't see it earlier, there were these magazines that are making sense. But notice these are American publications. Oh, you know what? You know what? There is going to be some stuff in the foreign media. I just thought about that. There's going to be some of those magazines in Europe that are not going to give a toss about an invisible contract. So, yeah, that is going to happen, and probably as soon as today. Okay. All right. So I think we're good. Um, Glow said this week leaves no doubt Prince Archie and Lily would not be protected by that royal family if they returned. I agree. They would not be protected by that family. Okay, the big walk back. That buffoon. Okay, and we're done, you guys. We are done. Thank you so much for coming back. I don't think I really learned anything new. I was hoping that together we might come up with something, but I did want to correct that one thing though, and that was the thing I had said about the convoy. I did want to correct that though. And thank you to the squatty that pointed it out, even though I had saw it sooner, because I saw what's her name, Tisha Tells, and Tisha had mentioned she actually showed the video, and maybe I will post that video on the shorts. But she shared the video of the convoy, and when I saw, well, actually, when I heard her mention that it had been 23 days, I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, so you see what I did there? When I put these up, it actually has the date. The other ones, I managed to crop it out of the same photos 3 times. So, let me see. Uh-oh. Yahoo is calling it emergency surgery per May. What is that? Maya D? Let me see that. Kate Middleton emergency surgery? Let me find it on Yahoo. Let me find it. Okay, so far everything I see for Yahoo says planned. So, and they have it up here several times. I'm going to try to find the most recent. And I'm looking, yeah, I see it in Yahoo several places, but none of them so far says emergency. Yeah, wow. Gosh, how many times did Yahoo talk about that today? Planned, planned. Well, Black Queen, I'm looking for it. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't doubt you saw it. I just don't see it. Well, like I said, it sounds like an emergency to me. I'm going to say that. It sounds like an emergency to me. Well, the good thing is they say it's non-cancerous, right? Yeah. That's the good thing. They say it's non-cancerous, so that is good news. Hmm. Yep, I don't see it. I look, but I don't see it. Oh, by the way, thank you, Black Queen. Oh, okay, okay. Let me try that. Maya Dino. Let me try that then. Hmm. Yeah. Still don't see it, but thanks anyway. If I find it, I'm gonna keep looking, and if I do find it, I will share it. Um, Cancels all engagements. Well, whatever happened, it sounded like an emergency to me. And nobody in the media is talking about that mysterious convoy. Hmm. Okay, this is speculative, so I'm not going to share that. But I'm going to be up scouring for some stuff later tonight, that's for sure. Just out of curiosity. Oh, okay. I see this right here. Wait a minute. No, that's not it. Sorry. Okay, all right. So this is what I see. Uh, Golden Apple, Melanie King, Princess Kate's condition is not cancerous despite emergency abdominal surgery. The only thing is when I open up the link, I don't know if that's because I typed that. Okay, maybe that's why. Okay, never mind. I think that's just because of the way I searched for it. Not that that was actually in the story. But the fact that they say planned looks a bit suspect to me. Planned. Oh, right here. Okay, okay. This was 8:31 a.m. Princess Kate's condition is not cancerous despite emergency abdominal surgery. That was a post from Harper's Bazaar. I'm sure they changed it later on. Princess Catherine has been hospitalized due to a planned surgery. Then it says planned surgery. But above that, when they first posted this, it says, matter of fact, let me screenshot it before. it disappears because I'm looking at it and that's what it says. So let me screenshot it before it disappears. Now they may have changed it later on. Okay. Yeah, that's what it says. That was Harper's Bazaar. And that was 8:30 1 a.m. So that was when it was still fresh. And that may have been before the press release. Yeah, that may have been before the press release. Okay. All right, Black Queen, I did find it. I did find it. But that one was for Harper's Bazaar. And like I said, that was before the press release. Okay. Well, I'm going to hang on to that receipt. I'm going to just hang on to it. What did I see that someone says left and returned? That, and that's what someone told me when this first started. It sounds like whatever happened took place already, and then there was some complications, and they had to go back. Good night, Connie Bomber. We're right behind you. I'm finna go. All right, you guys. I'm not gonna do the long closing. I'm just gonna say good night and thank you all for coming back. Black Queen say they're lying. They're lying. You lied. They lying. Okay. Nightline says it's non-cancerous. Yeah, I believe whatever it is non-cancerous. Yeah, I better go. You can hear it in my voice, right? I better go. Ooh, Frederica. Okay. Okay. Frederica says it could be an infection. And that's always a possibility. That's always a possibility. There's always a risk with surgery. Ooh, Bacinta. Appendicitis rupture after surgery that becomes toxic. Ooh, okay. Okay. Well, you guys, I do have a lot of questions. I do. And I hope we get some more information. And again, let's hope a speedy recovery for Kate. Get her back home to her babies because I'm sure that those children are worried, even if they say otherwise. Um, Children like stability. And when something changes like that, that can be a bit of a worry. So let's pray that she gets home safe to her family. Oh, my sure, I saw those palms. I saw Trump's palms look rather odd, right? They can talk about surgery, but not Epstein. Here, here. Okay, you guys. Love you guys. Good night. Good morning. Thank you so much for coming back. I will be back tomorrow. Going to try to come on early tomorrow, but this is quite curious. This is very curious, and I would like to get down to the bottom of it. Also, I'm looking forward to Harry's award show, and I hope that they don't use this to try to derail or hijack the occasion. They're going to do as much as they can because the palace always does the most. And while I wish no ill will on anybody in that family, don't put a cloud over Harry's event, please. That's all I'm asking. Please don't put a cloud over that event. You know they're going to try it, but let's see what happens. Well, I tell you, their timing is impeccable, isn't it? Oh, okay, Connie Mama. All right, you're going to work. Yeah, it is about that time, isn't it? Have a very productive day, Connie Balmer. Thank you so much for coming back. Thank you all for coming back. See you all tomorrow.